Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is why I'm not skinny like Phil. Because, you know, we planted a GoPro down here in the bush, down a hill, and Phil's always the one getting the exercise. So this is part of his daily exercise routine. Keep up the good work, Phil. So we're at the second lookout on this beautiful property, and look at that. Most of that land out, as you see there, is part of this 40,000 acre property. We're standing at the second lookout, as I just said, and down below are some caves which we'll work our way down very shortly. Now, one thing I recommend when you're walking in this sort of rocky terrain is a good set of walking shoes. Now, you look down, I've got some Marriotts that I've had for quite a while. Perfect for hiking in this type of terrain. And what do you wear, Phil? He's got the old pluggers.
They're Roccos.
They're Roccos pluggers.
They're designed and built for these conditions. That's why they're called Roccos.
Great, and they're comfortable. They don't.
Yeah, no worries.
You don't roll ankles in them or anything.
Yeah. No, ankles are all folded together. I'm not going to worry then.
Oh, that's right, they are too.
Just off the main track here, apparently, there's some caves under this ledge. So we'll check those out.
Look, there's a rock wallaby wearing thongs.
Now, the thing about this country is that because it is so flat and so vast, that it doesn't take a lot of elevation to get those absolutely stunning views that never seem to end, all the way to the horizon. It also means you never really know just when it will all disappear suddenly from beneath your tyres.
Feels down in the hole. And the good thing about these hiking boots are the easy, quick release.
Put the serious boots on.
It turns back into the serious boots.
The soft sandstone that forms this country has been shaped and sculptured by the forces of nature since the dawn of time, never staying same, not even for a moment. And with every shower of rain or passing flood, with every summer storm, gust of wind and days of relentless scorching heat belting down from the sun, the land has eroded to form the constant array of crevices, caves and tunnels that become the ever-evolving trademark of this landscape.
About 20 foot down there. It looked good after being raining through here.
Sometimes Mother Nature creates formations that are worthy of a name. Take this one for example. It's called Mushroom Rock, and it's pretty clear to see why. Obviously, because of where it lays, it doesn't take up much room. Once back at camp, and before we could sit down with a nice cold beer to enjoy yet another classic outback sunset, we had just one more track to check out.
Tyrone and beyond. I like it. Yeah. So this is the start of the track to the caves, and this is right where we're camped. So we left this bit to the last minute. So Wendy's already gone. This is called trick cameraman operation. Okay, pretty cool. Oh, I was gonna do that.
They said turn left at the crack in the rock, but can't see any cracks in rocks.
No?
No.
No.
This one there. There's all sorts of critters use these things. You can tell here by the lizard tracks. This is his paw. This is the tail. See the paw prints as they go along. There's probably a little goanna in here.
It's amazing how after millions of years all this is formed. Even a little ramp.
And so, with yet another sunset view marking the end of this cave walk, and the sound of a couple of beers calling our names from the fridge, we settle in for the last night at the highest campsite on the station. Well, how's that? It's another beautiful morning here at Adavale Way Farmstay. Today we're taking off. We're heading a little bit further west from here. We've got a few other places we want to check out. But how good has this place been?
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's got it all. It's 40,000 acres of just nothing. You've got caves out here, you've got a few lookouts, you've got dams with yabbies in them. Our camp spot, I reckon it's been the best I've sort of been in there for years.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're on top of a lookout. We've got the sunset, which is over there. A couple of nights in a row we've had that.
We are literally camped right there.
Bloody beautiful. And then there's also a big camp walk, a cave walk just over on the other side of us. So it's all probably been done with steps and stuff, which you'll obviously have seen. But yeah, I'll rate this camp spot. Get down here and have a look.
It's fantastic for a farm stay. Like there's many farm stays out and around, especially out here, sort of central Queensland. Everything has something different to offer, and it's just depending on the landscape where it situates. And I always recommend get out there and check them out, because you just don't know what you're going to see. And remember, these are private properties, so the owners are allowing us to come in, have a camp, I suppose, and check the place out. Now, this place especially is a working cattle property, so the owners are out and about. They're doing farming duties. They're doing everything that they need to be. So I think it's important to remember that if you're coming to a farm stay, really your expectation should be that you need to be self-sufficient. You need to have everything that you need and work on that. If there's other facilities and things around, then that's a bonus. If you call it a bonus. We like this style of thing.
Yeah.
We like no facilities.
Yep.
But treat it as a bit of a bonus, because if your expectation is, 5-star resort, maybe a gym, cafe, restaurant, all those sorts of things, then I'm going to suggest that maybe farm stays aren't quite for you. But if you want to really rough it, use that gear that you bought, spend all that money on to be off the grid and self-sufficient, then these are the places to sort of check out. And we loved it, so we thoroughly recommend, especially here, Adavale Way Farm Stay on Tyrone Station. Get out here, have a look, meet the owners. The owners are fantastic. So I'd like to say to Cam and Tara, big thank you. Thank you for allowing us to come and stay here for a few days. It's really nice place to stay, so we're really happy about that. But the time has come where we need to move along and check out more of this area and further out. So, so stick around though, because there's plenty more of that coming on the camera. So for now, we need to pack up a bit and
let's grab a coffee,
go.
Pack up and hit the road.
Right.
Yeah, I'm scared. He's looking at me. Keep driving to the brown, I think.
So we've come across an old bore site. This is once used to be grazing farmland. I dare say it would have been mostly cattle, but it's an old station anyway. And so they have these remote bores. Obviously they need to get water up in certain areas to get for the cattle. It's pretty common to see a tank and a windmill. But what I did not expect to see, and it's come as a bit of a surprise, is this old girl. Old steam engine. Shows how old some of these stations are. The old pulleys here, they used to run belts back to whatever they wanted to turn over. And I dare say here it would have been some sort of pump. Maybe. Fantastic relic. What do you say? What do you say, Wayno?
Wow, I've never seen one of these before. I probably have, but not in the middle of a bush.
Middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere. Water in the tank? Can you see the ocean? Just asking for a friend. Yeah, still waiting for a mate. This Phil? Looks like some sort of carriage thing. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's the blade type thing there.
Maybe the blade.
Maybe that was supposed to go. That's supposed to go into there.
Yeah, that drops that up and down.
Ah, yeah, either tow it behind something.
Yeah. It might have been terrestrial. It's only small, so it might have been like a draft horse.
Yes.
Kind of the vibe I'm getting.
And you can tell how long it's been here for. There's no getting that out in a hurry unless you've got a big chainsaw. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So this stuff should be in a museum. I can't believe that lever still works after probably been there 100 years.
Yeah, whole mechanism. Built to last.
I reckon. Unreal. Love it.
So these bores were used a lot when they were mustering cattle. They'd bring them in for the night, bring them to the water before they move on to the next bore, and so on, until they got to the sale yards or wherever they were travelling. Now, to do that, to sit overnight, normally means the stockman would have to set up camp. And I'm actually fairly certain that this flat area here would have been where the campsite was. Mostly because when I look around, I'm starting to find bits of glass. This is old glass. Like I keep saying, you can tell by the thickness of it. The colour's a good giveaway too. Broken glass. More remnants here. And the more I sort of look around, I'm finding things like old tin cans. There's a bit more glass, getting more glass here. It's iron that almost looks like part of an axe. All those sorts of things. And I'm only really seeing it in this flat area around here. And it makes sense, that's where you camp, in a nice flat area. So I dare say we're standing on the campground of pioneers past. Obviously we're not the only ones that camp here. Here is the bottle dump. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Every campsite in the old days, every homestead had to have one. And there is just literally thousands of pieces of broken glass in here. You gotta be careful in these old sites. So, different shapes and sizes. There's all that purple glass. You don't see that sort of stuff anymore. A lot of history out in the middle of nowhere. Definitely some camping going on here. Bit of a cooker. That's where you hang your billy and your camp oven. Nice.
Righto, just preparing for lunch in the old road chef. Couple of frozen pies, a couple of bits of cabanossi, just put in the tray because we're down a pretty rough dirt road, so I reckon it'll be easier. 180, 2 hours. Let's wait for the ding, and that'll be lunch.
roadside stop here, enjoy the view. But right now, gotta get ready for lunch. Yep, you guessed it. Got your pies in the pie oven. Right, a couple of pies in the oven. A couple of hours. Actually, I might bring mine back a little bit. Just go up for a couple of hours. I don't know, it's out there. Like I said, first time I've ever used it. So I'm either going to end up with undercooked pies or charcoal. One or the other. The end of the track brings us out to a bit of a, well, dried up creek bed now, but I'm guessing at certain times of the year this would actually have water in it. Just not today. I might just take a wander back, see what we got up here. It's all dry. Nice place to camp at certain times of the year, I guess. It's now starting off in spring, in early September. And although there's been a bit of rain in this area a few months ago, and there's a bit of water lying around in certain places, this will obviously dry up pretty quick. But I tell you what, if you want a campsite in the middle of absolute nowhere, and you're fortunate enough to find this one, you'll have it all to yourself. Almost guaranteed. We've got another spot in mind, and that's where we're working our way to, so we're not staying here tonight, but I wanted to check it out and make sure, you know, maybe one day we'll be back. Like I said, just to get away from all the city life, all the cares in the world, come here when you work out how to find it. See, you should never speak too early. We found a swimming hole. A little bit green, a little bit stagnant. Lots of bees. But hey, it's water. I don't like my net, don't scare me. Always on the search for food, especially seafood. The birds have got to us before we got to them. Freshwater mussels. So, middle of the outback, and we still got seafood, even in a bunyip hole. More over here. If you don't know what a bunyip hole is, it's where the bunyips are. If you don't know what a bunyip is, Google.
Somebody's makeshift shower. Well, it might have been Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
This station was part of a large pastoral holding which started operating way back in 1875. For 127 years, there was a mix of cattle and sheep grazing on the land, right up until about 1982, when it was closed down and became a scientific reserve in order to protect a very rare type of mulga scrub which has only been found in this area. Making the slow climb out of the valley deep within this old station, we gradually made the 23-kilometre journey back towards the main road in order to head even further west. Make sure you join us next time for the final instalment when we finally get to eat those pies. Pie, sauce, the side of an old township. Find some bush tucker.
Well, we always seen the opened up ones by birds or fish or whatever, but a couple of lobies.
And gorge ourselves on some stunning scenery. Next time on Tyrone and beyond.